Right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Scott. I am one of the hosts of the Prairie-Wide Hot Wing Challenge. I have my guest here, Stephen Mogdan with Stringham Denicky law offices here in Lethbridge. Stephen, we're extremely excited to have you out today.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Yeah, so typically in fashion, we usually start with a quick question, then we dive into the chicken wings. So I'm gonna open it up with my association to lawyers is like watching Suits or old movies, and typically you get this kind of notion that lawyers can be stuffy. Right? That's kind of the stigma. That's like how people kind of view it. Tell me, how do you face that? Like, is that something that you've gone through? Have people, you see that in your career? And how do you really just say like, hey, I'm a human too. Like, I like to have fun.
For sure. I mean, it's a very common perception of lawyers. Yeah. Despite stuff that you see on TV and that sort of thing. I find that the best way to overcome that is through humor. Okay. And so that's what I do. I just try to be lighthearted and not the overbearing, stuffy lawyer type. Okay, works for me. That's fair.
That's fair. So we're gonna start with the classic hot sauce. You gotta pick a wing. You get to pour it on yourself. Okay. So you get to decide how kind and compassionate you take this, or how gentle you want to go.
The classic.
Classic. So they usually start. So we made a bit of a PowerPoint presentation. Talks about the Scoville scales of them. Really easy. Can't go too hard with it.
It's a nice smell.
Yeah, cheers. Enjoy your first wing.
Years ago, I worked with a guy at a restaurant, and he had his own brand of hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah. It was called Prairie Fire.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Prairie Fire.
No.
His name was Fred. Anyway, he would make himself a plate of pasta and put a whole bottle of his hot sauce in this plate of pasta when he had dinner.
Really? I have a client here in our office, and he grows his own ghost peppers, and he grinds them at the end of the year into like a powder, and actually puts it on popcorn. His wife loves the peppers, but she doesn't love some of the experiences. He was grinding some of his peppers, and then he decided to go out for dinner. They were driving down Mayor McGrath, and he literally starts crying in the middle of Mayor McGrath and starts rubbing his eyes because he hadn't washed them good enough. And we tried to like wipe some sweat off of his face. So interesting. It's funny that you should say like I combat being a lawyer with humor. Or actually, had a known associate of yours has known you for about 15 years, and he said like, hey, my first time meeting Stephen was around the Chamber of Commerce, which obviously goes back in your profession. He said like, I would ask him like, do you actually do lawyer stuff? Right, because you're pretty known for just having the humor side of things. And he said like in your office you have a ton of Simpsons characters.
I do in my home office.
In your home office?
I do, yeah.
Okay, where's that come from? Can you explain that?
Well, I mean, it comes from loving The Simpsons, like everybody should love The Simpsons.
Okay.
And then, just getting them as gifts over the years. I've actually, the collection has decreased quite a bit because my oldest dog, when he was a puppy, just sniffed these things out, and I'd find half of Homer here and the other half over there.
Really?
And, yeah, it was garlic.
This one kind of tastes like a Caesar to me, if you're ever a fan of the cocktail.
Oh, I like that.
So on your biography on your website, did you have a master's degree in medieval history?
I do.
Like, open up, talk to me about that. Like, where does that passion come from? Because that's like a very, very specific thing.
It really is. So when I was an undergrad, and actually take a step back before that, when I was finishing high school, what I wanted to be with my life was a writer. A fiction writer. Okay. And facing the prospect of getting to the end of high school and trying to get into that line of work, I thought it might be a little bit difficult. I'm 18, don't have that much life experience, so I thought I'll go to university and pick up more life experience and that sort of thing. And so what I did in university was history. Yep. And over the course of my years at undergrad, this was at University of Calgary, I got more and more interested in medieval history, and specifically medieval Irish history. Okay. And so when I got to the end of my undergrad, I still wanted to go on. I wanted to do a little more history, thinking of doing it kind of as a career.
Yep.
And so I went and did a master's. I did that in Dublin, Ireland,
Yep.
which is a
Trinity
good place.
College.
Yeah.
I mean, a good place to be just in general without even the college aspect of it.
It was quite a time.
Okay.
And first time I ever lived away from home
Okay.
for myself.
Yep.
And so to do that in another country, it's quite an experience.
Yeah, I had somebody also say like get the whole life experience, but they said don't go the college route. So I traveled to Australia when I graduated high school. 18 years old, Scott, hopped on a plane and went to Australia for 13 months. Such an incredible experience.
I bet I'd love to see Australia, but
300% increase.
So we're jumping, 300%.
let's do it.
Let's do it. So then, holy.
The peak too soon.
It like came out of the globe. Damn it! This is gonna be bad.
Nah, 15.5.
15.5.
Barbados.
Interesting enough, these all come from Jamaica.
All of them?
Like you literally, or except for one, this one's ordered from. This is a hot sauce locally from here from Lethbridge.
I was going to say, I thought Chinook was a local.
Yeah.
One of Scott's kids actually has gone up to. Has he gone to the West Side?
No, he went to the Chinook Bridge and then he cut it out.
And he's how old now?
7.
7. So if you can't get past the Chinook, just know a 7-year-old did.
You know how to motivate.
Yeah. Is this tasting like food still, or is it?
I can still taste chicken.
Uh huh.
There you go. Yeah.
The hot sauce, this one isn't very tasty though.
So your next
That's a
one,
nice one, actually.
Do you find that nice?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe by too much, it did not taste nice.
No, I like it.
Interesting.
When you jump to the next one, when the devil winks at you, you've got something good going on there.
Absolutely.
Jump it up again. It might not taste as good when you get to this point.
So going from history, studying it, wanting to potentially pursue a career in fictional writing, how do you swing into law?
Actually, the subject that I did my dissertation on for my master's was a very legal subject. It involved an Anglo-Irish earl in Southwest Ireland and all the legal problems that this person faced.
Okay.
Which, I mean, when you talk about the legal system back then, it's sort of early English, so you recognize elements of what we have for a legal system, but
Today
a lot,
still?
Yes, for sure.
Wow.
With some of it, but a lot of differences as well.
Okay.
But that kind of got me more interested in just doing the law part of it. So.
Interesting.
And also, I mean, there was some motivation involved there with wanting to, actually make enough money to support myself and
a potential family
spouse,
moving forward.
that sort of thing. When you've been in school for 6 years or whatever, you start to
look at the debt load that's piling up. Especially imagine being an international student. That came at a pretty penny.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think that we soak international students here, go over there, right?
Cost of living and everything. Yeah. Well, cheers. We're at a 171% increase from the last one.
Hellfire.
The devil's blend. He's literally winking at you to enjoy his chicken leg.
He is winking, right? That's not just my eyes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or somebody's taking his eye out.
So while you guys are doing that, I'll just sort of show you what the next one's at. It's not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's working.
16% from this?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I actually really like this one. This one reminds me of like a Taco Time hot sauce. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of a Taco Time hot sauce.
El Diablo.
El Diablo.
This one for being the hottest one, I think smells fantastic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like the smell is really
we'll
good.
see if your face is the same thing when you get to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna taste good though. Ooh.
So you finished the law degree. Why Lethbridge? Like, why'd you settle on the community of Lethbridge?
Family here. My wife's family is from here.
Okay.
So it was kind of either Calgary or Lethbridge.
Yeah.
And Lethbridge worked out, and Calgary just didn't. But it was close enough. And
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
When you go through your Facebook page, you really, really ooze community support. You know, you're part of the BRZ, you're part of the Chamber of Commerce, you've been part of many associations and boards.
Yeah.
I also know you're a father, you're a partner at String of Dennehy. How do you do it all?
Oh, good grief. Coffee. Copious amounts of coffee.
Huh?
You know, honestly, and you know, my wife will ask me that question too, right? You know, why do you devote so much time to, you know, boards and being on committees and all that kind of thing? And I really think that, you know, a person has an obligation to give back to their community, make their community a better place.
Okay.
And yeah, you can do that in a number of different ways, you know, just being a good neighbor, being a family person, all that stuff. But for me, it really made sense to be involved in community organizations. I get out there, I meet people. Not being from Lethbridge, that's also a big help, right? It's a way to get involved with, you know, your local business community and that sort of thing in a way that, you know, if you don't do that, it'll take longer, basically.
Yeah, that's fair.
How's that tasting?
Oh, good. Okay, I like it. That's like one of my favorite hot sauces.
Tears of the Sun.
We're on the halfway mark. So, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Notice it at all?
A little bit, yeah.
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 Sits right here on the tongue, doesn't it? And you're just like,
Did you just put a bunch of chapstick on right before?
yep.
Okay.
Can you see the shine?
I don't know if we can edit out your shiny lips. But nice work protecting them.
I went in prepared. My first experience with this with Lane was just a gut buster.
Tears of the Sun. What about wing quality? Are you
It's good.
okay? Well, shout out.
Shout out to Land Lakes Golf Course for hooking us up with some amazing wings.
I've never had wings at Land O'Lakes. I've had some other stuff. I think all their food stuff is pretty good.
We're a big
Robbie
fan
does a
of
good job over there.
we're a big fan of their breakfast.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't had their breakfast.
it's the best.
If you can convince the chef to do poached eggs, that is. Cheers.
They're gonna actually hunt you down for saying that. They boil water for us. That's it. I'll give you a sneak peek of the next one. The old honey badger.
A 43% increase.
Yeah, jumping up to 100, but things get uglier from there, so this one will be a good start.
Enjoy it while you can. You had a child graduate high school last year.
Yeah.
Are you guys empty nesters now?
Nope.
No?
No, he's still at home. He's going to be going to Lethbridge College
Okay.
in the fall. And we have a younger one who's just finished grade 11
Okay.
now, so he'll be at home at least for another year. So
Nice.
yeah.
Hopefully big changes in the future for all of you guys at the whole household.
I mean, it might not be all that long before empty nest comes around, right? So-
Literally. I'm sure my parents were happy for that day. I'm not there for a long time. I'm in it for another 17 years at minimum, probably. So, bit of a different change.
Mhm.
So this one's an interesting one.
The honey badger.
You can really start to feel these.
Scott is feeling it more than you at the moment.
No, I'm good. I'm 100% good.
Honey mustard.
There's mustard in there?
It says honey mustard.
All right.
Such a big community man of Lethbridge. What makes Lethbridge great? And to you,
So many things, right? You know, the spirit of Lethbridge, particularly the business community, because I'm so, you know, closely aligned with that. We support our own. We have lots of great benefits with, you know, having a college, having a university, having, you know, great climate. You know, if you can get over the wind, right?
Yeah.
And that type of thing. Yeah, just so many benefits down here. It's at the same time you have a bit of a less hectic pace of life than you might in one of the bigger centers.
Yeah.
And I personally like it. I grew up in Calgary, so you want to get somewhere in Calgary, it might take you 40 minutes, 50 minutes to do it, right?
Yeah.
In Lethbridge, you get anywhere in 20 minutes, maybe 25.
Yeah.
Tops. Great place to raise a family. Good schools. Yeah, so many things.
You talk about the business community a lot. Do you think the business community's caught up where the rest of the world is, or do you think the business community of Lethbridge still kind of is old and is on the change of things?
I think it's pretty caught up, for sure. I mean, technology-wise, I think Lethbridge business community is fairly there.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's a bit hot.
Yeah, you can feel that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're on to a local Lethbridge one. As you can tell by my lovely background,
this is a Chinook. Yep.
it was taken.
I know a guy that just adores the Chinook stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll see if you do too after this. To put it into perspective, we have 2 more after this, and this is already at an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10? Something like that?
Well, I think this is considered 10 out of 10. I think this is an 11 or 12 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm here to hold your hands if you need me.
Thanks, buddy.
We have Pepto-Bismol for
No, don't do it. That's a trick. It doesn't work.
Well, here's the local.
Here's the local.
Right.
Did you explain why we have a local sauce and why that photo looks really, really
Different than the others? Yeah, my youngest broke it. We had a different hot sauce that was part of the original collection.
Oh, yeah.
She grabbed it out of the box and smashed it on the floor by accident.
Mm.
She's so lucky that it didn't get on her hands.
Oh, it was a quick grab.
About 150
It was a
pounds.
quick grab.
Yeah. Well, take a look at this one. Because it's getting uglier.
It is. Absolutely.
You had fun supporting local. Now you're going to need life support.
Yeah. If you need life insurance, we can hook you up. Quick policy in 10 minutes or less.
I wouldn't do a blood test right after this.
No, me neither.
It's a unique approach for an insurance
Sales.
agency to expose people intentionally
Yeah.
to brutal physical damage.
Yep. Your disability insurance will not pay out for this.
Hey, if you voluntarily did it.
Oh, look at the law coming out here. Here we go. If you voluntarily did it, you can't make it, can you?
Mm-hmm. I can give you some Latin if you want for that, but otherwise, let's just have a chicken.
Cheers.
Woo.
Yeah. Does it taste good too?
Oh.
Feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Holy dino.
Yeah.
So one of the mistakes that Courtney Atkinson and I made was we
Delay too long before the
delayed
inevitable.
too long before this one and the last one, because we started to fall apart right on camera. So, but there was about a 2 minute or 3 minute delay. And it
Like a
was
5
because-
minute.
5 minute?
Oh yeah. By the time we fix the camera and stuff.
Yeah, so Courtney and I didn't know what was going on at that point. We were just talking, and then it just sort of got awkward.
Right.
And then we moved into the last one, but I'll tell you, he was a champ. I mean, he said you'd be really good too. He said you'd be fine.
How are you doing?
Good. You?
Good. I'm fine.
All right. So this is the last dab. The reason it's called the last dab is you put a little bit of extra on just to enjoy it a little bit of extra.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to the last dab, obviously you made a big announcement. You know, are running for the mayor seat of Lethbridge. This is your red carpet moment. So, anybody that's going to take time to watch the video, why should they consider voting for you as Lethbridge's next mayor?
Yeah.
Can we wait until you've had a bit of this?
Sure.
2 million Scoville. I
Yeah.
just feel like that would be.
It's hard to get the words
Check
out.
it out, man. We're talking 200% increase here. I think you can handle this. You got it?
Yep,
Let's do it. That's what I'm here for.
you are.
Oh,
Scott.
get that Pepto-Bismol ready.
Okay, make sure that your next guest has as much as that. Okay,
100%.
because he'll try to wuss you out.
You will.
I love that you know who it is and you say that so confidently. Cheers.
Here's two.
Whew.
You gotta finish your wing.
No way.
Yeah, you do. That's the last dab.
You know what? That one smells better than it tastes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't taste good. Keep going, Scott.
At least I don't have to have a red carpet moment.
I got more wings than you.
All right.
Be my guest.
Red carpet moment.
Here, let's do another one of those.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's wild.
Well, we gotta get rid of these wings.
Is this
right?
is this your way of saying vote for me? I'm a badass. If I can handle this hot seat, I can handle any hot seat you're gonna put me in.
There you go.
This would be your new campaign slogan.
Cool under pressure.
I mean,
You should really be in a tearaway tracksuit to say that.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, you're going for it.
There you go.
Round 2, that's a first. We got some Prairie-Wide history here. Now I'm watching Scott struggle quite a bit here.
Which one do you like best? This one? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really enjoy that one.
I think I like this one the best for taste.
They also taste start to blur together when you get like up to this side and then on, hey? All right, red carpet moment.
The Apollo. That's good.
The Apollo, Mr. Stephen Mogdan. What is your red carpet moment?
So, like you said, Scott, running for mayor of Lethbridge.
Yep.
Something that
It's a
I've
big
been
task.
considering for several years.
Yeah.
It's really, excuse me, sorry, probably banged my mic there. Something that I've really, it's kind of accelerated for me over the last year and a bit. And the primary reason for that is that I think the way our council has been trending in Lethbridge has been more towards divisiveness rather than bringing people together. And I think that is the opposite of what a council should do. So what I'm running for is to bring some leadership and some collaborative approach to council.
Okay.
My history in the community has demonstrated that that's what I do. You know, being involved with different community agencies, that's what I've done, is I've brought people together to achieve goals. And so I think this would be a great way to do that on an even larger scale and serve my community even better.
Fantastic. Thank you.
That's the number one point. There's some other policy stuff.
Of course.
That's for when we have more wings.
When is the
October.
election?
October, right?
Election's October 18th.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, I guess I should say my campaign team will kick my ass if I don't say. Go to mogdanformayor.ca.
There we go.
There's the cash line.
Yeah, be sure to vote for me.
Cool under pressure.
Donate if you like.
Cool under pressure.
Yeah,
And if they have any questions for you, they can reach out.
they can. There's actually a form that you can fill out on the website to submit a question to me.
Okay.
And I've committed to answering all of those questions individually, personally, for every question that I get. So,
Wow.
So far I've been able to keep up. I mean, it might take me 2 or 3 days to, get back to someone, but I
Yep.
do answer all of those. So
Okay.
I mean, I
Good
like
for
to
you.
be accessible. Yeah, and it's it's a small community. It's easy to get a hold of me.
Yep.
So who's our next guest, and how do you think they'll do?
So I understand that your next guest is Mike Gervais, who is with Breathe Easy Heating and Air Conditioning, part of the Green and Yellow group. Mike's a great community guy, has done a ton of stuff in support of various things in the community, from just helping families that might be struggling with meeting expenses and stuff like that, to
Yep.
autism support, food bank support, all that kind of stuff. Really great community guy. Having said that, I don't think he'll get past this. Really,
Tears in the sun.
he's some.
Let's go back and look at that.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah,
Is what you're trying to say,
he
right?
looks tough. But honestly, guy's a wuss.
All right, Mike, you hit it first. You're not going to make it to here, and that is a challenge.
Michael, 69,000 Scoville is your peak.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. If you can't do it, I want to know.
And that one
will.
is going to be against me, Mike, so looking forward to it. All right, guys.
Cheers. We really appreciate your time today.
Awesome.
Thank you. That was great.
Thanks so much.